Good evening and welcome to the broadcast tonight. My name is Maureen Pryor, and I am going to be serving as your moderator for this very informative and crucial conversation about Sacramento Tap. What is it? We're going to learn that tonight. And so, without further ado, let's go to our panelists. Let's start with Miss Lena. Lena, would you introduce yourself to the people? Let them know kind of who you are and what your role is with the TAP program.
Hey everybody, my name is Lena Doyle and I am over the social media aspect for the TAP program. I am responsible for planning, implementing, monitoring, managing TAP social media strategies in order to increase TAP's awareness, as well as engagement within the participants within our platform. So I'm hoping that everyone, all of the participants will get fully engaged. I'm excited to hear about all the Black businesses local in Sacramento. And even if we have participants that's not within Sacramento, I'm excited to get to know you as well.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, and welcome to my party. You know, I like to party, so welcome to my party. It's gonna
thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, welcome. Let's shoot it over to Ms. Deanna. Go ahead and introduce yourself and what are you going to be doing with TAP program?
Hello, yes, I am Deanna Vestal, President of Career Path Development, and it is an honor to be part of the BSBA, Black Small Business Association of California's Technical Assistance Program. And CPD is a recruiter, a brand developer, and a strategy company and group here in Sacramento, and that's exactly what we're bringing to this 4-month campaign, this project and collaborative exercise, if you will. My experience in Sacramento, I hope, will be leveraged throughout this process with our collaborating agencies. And I have a LinkedIn workshop coming up on October 14th.
Oh, fantastic. LinkedIn. Okay, we're going to get into some LinkedIn. That's awesome. Let's shoot it over to Miss Angela Moore. Please introduce yourself and tell them kind of your role within the TAP program.
Well, hi, everybody. My name is Angela Moore, and I am the owner of Moore Park Enterprises. Moore Park Enterprises is an entity formation company. We help set up companies and structuring for sole proprietorships, nonprofit organizations, LLCs, S Corps, and C Corps. So my part in this program is twofold. I am helping to help people understand what structuring means and what it means to their business. And also we are going to be working on putting together a business plan. So those of you who had loans from the City of Sacramento, part of the way to have your loan forgiven is to create a business plan. And all of our segments are actually geared towards that. So my job is to make sure that you understand why structuring is important and why a good business plan is what you need to move your business forward and do it in a productive way.
Well, thank you for joining the conversation. I know we're going to get into it, but thank you so much for your contributions and what you're bringing to this team. Let's kick it over to Mr. Lodgson. Introduce yourself, sir.
Hey, what's up? What's up? It's Chris Lodgson, Sac Black Biz, creator of Sac Black Biz here in Sacramento, Sacramento's largest online hub for Sacramento County-based Black-owned businesses. We've been serving Sacramento's Black-owned businesses and people who want to do business with Sacramento's Black-owned businesses since, I want to say, early 2016, late 2015. And as a part of the SACTAP program, our team is going to be teaching social media marketing essentials, specifically Facebook and Instagram marketing essentials. So we're going to give you that ground level base knowledge that you need and that every business owner needs, especially every Sacramento Black business owner needs to be successful on Facebook and on Instagram.
Well, thank you for coming to my party. I love to see it. And you always come with like the biggest smile. Like I don't know. It's just like you bring this energy. And And so last but not least, we're going to talk to the person who's put this team together. And let's talk to her about what is SACTAP, why did you put this team together, and what are you trying to bring to Sacramento in order to move them to the next step. So let's go ahead and hear from you.
Hi, I'm Selena Pryor. I'm the president of the Black Small Business Association of California. And I'm really excited about this program, mainly because I feel like this is that the city of Sacramento heard some of our concerns that we had been communicating with them when COVID first hit. And so this program is very important for Black small businesses that are just getting started, that have been in existence for a while and just need a way to learn how to pivot so that their business can grow and survive and thrive during COVID. And so I'm really excited about this program. I think that we've put together a group of the best business advocates and experts in Sacramento. And I'm just excited to work with them. I'm excited to get to work in the city and to really help our businesses. So thank you for this time.
Well, when we're talking about Black businesses, and I'm so glad that everybody is here, and I actually am officially a part of Team SACTAP. So just so everybody knows, I will be bringing presentations to you, not really of this nature, but stuff that we need to know about Black businesses, how we function in spaces, and how we get what we need to have to be successful as a Black community. And I'm hearing some tapping, so just be mindful of that. So let's get started, because we need to know really what is the landscape of Black businesses here in Sacramento. What are we looking at? What's the picture, Chris? Talk to us about the data surrounding the Black businesses here in Sacramento.
Yeah, thanks for that question, Lauren. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about the landscape and to frame the discussion, right? Because I think that's important. We all need some sort of common knowledge as to what the picture looks like here in Sacramento, Sacramento County, Sacramento City, as well, which is including the county. Obviously, there are thousands of Black-owned businesses here in the county of Sacramento. At the last census date that we looked, the census used to do something called the Survey of Business Owners. At the last time we looked, there were thousands of businesses Black-owned here in the city and county of Sacramento. A lot of those businesses, the majority or so, 60% or so, are owned by Black women. And the rest are owned by Black men. That's right. Clap it up, right? And we also know that of the thousands of Black-owned businesses, we could expect that a majority of those businesses, some 90+%, have no employees other than the owner. So we're talking about a landscape where there are thousands of Black-owned businesses, majority of which owned by Black women, 90+% or so own or have no employees other than the owner. Nationwide, we know last time we looked, there were about 2.58 million Black-owned businesses generating some I want to say $300 billion, $150 billion in revenue total, employing tens of thousands of people all across the United States, particularly 3.56 million people. So last time we looked, just to summarize that, 2.58 million Black-owned businesses in the country generating about $150 billion total in revenue and employing some 3.56 million people in the United States. And again, here locally, thousands of Black-owned businesses, again, the majority owned by Black women, and also supporting thousands of jobs here in Sacramento County.
Gotcha. And so just so we're clear, those businesses, those 90-something% businesses, those are known as micro enterprises, correct?
Yes, you could characterize a business that has 5 employees or less as a micro enterprise. The majority of our businesses, as we just said, have no employees other than the owner. So 90+% of our businesses are micro enterprises.
Okay. And so when you look at that and you know, kind of with COVID coming into the picture, right? And there was only the owner there. What has that done to our businesses? And I'll kick it to you, Selena, because you've been doing a lot of advocacy around Black small businesses. What are we looking at? Why is this program essential?
That's a good question, and I'll attempt to answer it, but I'm sure Chris is going to jump in at some point because he is our expert. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he's like, yeah. I think because one, we're kind of left out when it comes to communication of what resources are available. And that was one of the reasons why we started the SBA in the beginning, is because, there was all of this information out there about loans, but we weren't hearing about it, and then we weren't being selected for them. And so I think when you have a system that's set up to not communicate what's available with for small businesses, particularly Black small businesses, you kind of get lost in the shuffle.
Mhm.
And so I think that's one of the main reasons, is lack of communication, specifically and intentionally to our small businesses in our community.
And I see, Angela, you're shaking your head. Yes. So part of me wants to say that you agree with what you're hearing. Do you want to add something to that? Because I think that that's important, that we understand that there's information that's specifically not reaching our businesses. And so what I would like to know is, what do you think has contributed to that?
Well, it is. It's not. It's information that's not getting to our businesses, not necessarily because in all cases it's because it wasn't presented. We don't know how to find the information. A lot of the time the information is out there, but we're not able to find it. And what a lot of people were also finding out, and one of the reasons that we started doing training for small Black businesses back in March, is that people weren't prepared. So even if they got the information, their businesses weren't prepared to receive funding. So preparedness was a big part of what caused a lot of people not to be able to get the funding that they needed to keep their businesses up and running.
Right. So we gotta stop there and put a pin in that, because they weren't prepared. And when you say they weren't prepared, what specifically are we talking about? And I'll kick it to Miss Deanna. What do you think they weren't prepared? How were they not prepared? I'll say it like that.
Well, with the numbers that Chris threw out there, I think we have to talk about the segments. So some people, a good group of us, were not prepared strictly because we were in the go, like a train, a locomotive that stopped. And that caused a lot of activity, way too much to be looking for, when you have customers and you have clients and you have vendor relationships, and it's just a lot. That's one group of us. And then COVID hit, and you had another group of us who were immediately shut down. Our Black owned businesses are service based in many cases, and we gather for business and for pleasure, and that stopped immediately. And so being an independent, many times we rely on ourselves, and that might be a reason that we did not really know how to ask, not just where. And then finally we have those groups of us who were just getting started, or just starting to grow in momentum, or really had not ever had a business plan before, and had maybe even been using those traditional means like the Small Business Development Center and capital, the Capital Funding Group. I can't remember what they're called right now, but even thinking that you're connected, but feeling intimidated then to apply for those funds because they did not have the paperwork, or because they had never asked for anything before.
And I think we're gonna put a pin in that paperwork. We're gonna put an asterisk on the paperwork. Okay, let's go. Lena, did you want to contribute to that? Because I know you're a business owner, right? And all of us are, really. We're all business owners. So let me get you unmuted.
No,
So
this conversation. Go ahead. This conversation is definitely needed, and as Chris stated, that the majority are single owners, and so a lot of the single owners, they don't have the correct bank. They're banking with, they may not even have a business account. They might be thinking that they're banking with Chime or Cash App and thinking that that's going to work. But when it's time to get loans and grants, that's not going to cut it. And you better believe when this second round comes, it's going to get harder. So you have to make sure that your ducks are all in a row.
Too.
Lena, were you finished? Were you completed with your thought?
Go ahead, Chris.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah, I didn't want to cut you off, Lena, but I wanted to underscore what you said, what everyone else said, just to add to some of the context to the question specifically around the impact of COVID. So there was a current population survey, which is a way that the government collects data done between February and April of this year. Okay? That data found that just overall, the number of active businesses in the United States fell by 3.3 million, or by some, by a large percentage. So just, nationwide, we lost about 3.3 million businesses just between the months of February and April. However, African American business owners dropped by 41%. Okay? 41%. So we lost 41% of our business owners just captured in that 3 month period. That's higher than for any other group. For immigrant business owners, it was 36%. For Latinx business owners, it was 32. For Asian business owners, it was 26. Women-only businesses in general lost about 25%, and white business owners in general lost about 17% of their ranks. So we are absolutely hit the hardest by COVID-19. We lost again 41% of our business owners during that period, or at least captured during that period. 79% of Black business owners applied for PPP loans, compared with about 91% of businesses overall. So that goes to some of what Angela and actually everyone else has been talking about with respect to capital access, and 40% of Black business owners have been approved for those PPP loans, compared to about 52% overall. We also know that 26% of Black business owners have less than 1 month of cash reserves on hand, compared to about 17% of businesses overall. So I just want to add some of that to the context. I have some other thoughts about some of the structural roadblocks that create.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just want to add that and let you guys talk about that too.
You just said a whole mouthful. You just ran down a bunch of numbers.
Right.
But I don't know if people really grasp the gravity of the situation that we're looking at. So when we're talking about the landscape and what's going on and how things are presented to us or not presented to us, and us being left out. Selena, can you talk to us about why it was important for the advocacy to start immediately? What was it that you were seeing that was troubling you at that moment? Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah. So during this journey, I think what the catalyst for starting BSBA was that we noticed that, there was a lot of conversation about resources being scarce and our community not finding out about them. And so we found out that there was a city loan that we just didn't know about. They opened it up one day and it was open for a couple of hours and then it was gone. And out of 101 loans, 3 of those were actually funded for Black-owned small businesses. And then we took a look at what the state's iBank was doing and found out that there was 37 out of 537 or something like that, that were funded for Black-owned small businesses. And then that, in addition to the SBA, PPP and EIDL in the beginning, we were hearing that people just couldn't get funded. They couldn't get access to those. And so it kind of enraged me a little bit because, I'm thinking here we have people who are working really, really hard and they're trying their best and trying to stay afloat. And they're being told that, we're in a shelter in place and you can't go to work, but we're also not going to provide you any resources to keep your business afloat. And that just made me very, very, very upset. And so I felt like somebody needed to do something about it. And I know that we're not the only ones. We're not the only people that are seeing what's happening and speaking out about it. But I just felt like it was important for me to say something, whether they were listening or not. I just felt like I needed to say something. And so, BSBA was born, and we put this small board together, and we've been running ever since. You're on mute.
So when we talk about, access to capital, denial of access to capital, let's talk about what are we trying to do with this TAP program. Let's transition. Let's talk about what is it that we are. First of all, let's talk about what TAP is, and then let's talk about what are we trying to do to help with that access to capital. Because again, you brought up something during your intro, Angela. You said that by taking part in this program, we're going to we're going to be some of the components to get those to be forgiven loans. So let's talk about the access to capital. Why is that important for our businesses historically? Why is that important for our businesses? Ms. Angela, let's go to you.
Okay. Well, I mean, funding for a business is crucial. You need emergency funding. You need funding to be able to bring employees on board, to expand your business. It's a cycle. If you're not able to get funding, you can't expand your business. If you can't expand your business, you can't hire employees. If you can't hire employees, you're the only one doing the work. You're limited to what you can get done. Funding helps with all of that. The problem that most people run into, again, I hate to go back to the preparedness, but most of our businesses out there have never written a business plan. They don't even know what that's for. They don't understand that when you need funding, that is one of the first things that funding sources are going to look at to see if you're worthy to get money. And if you have a great, and I mean a great business plan, it can sometimes offset a little bit of the credit things that are out there. But if you have no business plan, and even with a good credit score, you're going to have a problem because people don't believe that you're taking your business seriously. So it's all about being prepared. People were finding out that their businesses were more considered hobbies than they were actual businesses because they were never structured.
Mm-hmm.
They were never structured, so they say, "Oh, well, I'm just a sole proprietor." Well, there's a structure to sole proprietorship, and they don't have separate bank accounts. They're not treating it as a business, and being prepared and understanding that it takes all that, including a business plan, is what we're doing here in TAP, so that we can instruct people on how to handle this as it goes forward. And if it ever gets worse again, we want to have people prepared so they can say, hey, I have a real legitimate business. Here it is. Here's my plan. Here are my financials. I need assistance, and they're more likely to get it that way.
Okay, so now you said a whole lot in there. And before we delve into the specifics of what you're talking about, I heard financials, I heard structure, I heard a lot of things that when we go into business ourselves, the bottom line is we're trying to get out from under a specific structure. But then we take it outside and we try to build a business with no structure. And what you're telling me, what I'm hearing, that's not going to work. Is that what
Right.
you're expressing? Okay.
It's either not going to work or you're going to skate uphill the whole time.
Straight uphill. Well, we don't do that because we Black. But we're going to put a pin in that too. Deanna, so when you say, I see you shaking your head and you're nodding and speaking. I just really want to know, like, in terms of what our businesses are doing, what can they do within TAP to help build or grow their business?
This is where my heartbeat is. This is where the party's at, right? So we get together as a collaborative, and we've been putting together what the city has offered us as a platform, some relief. First of all, in the pressure, we can take a deep breath because SAC Technical Assistance Program is here to assist with building and understanding and building a business plan that can be used for getting back on your feet during COVID, as well as qualifying for money. The third thing, and what, oh my goodness, it's hard to even spit it out. The city is offering folks who earned a city business loan full forgiveness. You take our program, which is offered not just by any one of us, but each business who is an expert in that area of the business plan will present it on their workshop night. And you can literally schedule your time by class. And when you have completed up to 10 hours of this program by December 31st, and created your business plan using not only the workshops, but our essential services. So you can have one-on-one assistance as well as some chatting and networking opportunities to help make this process easier. And then when you turn in that business plan to the city, you qualify to have your loan forgiven. And it assists you in being, if that weren't enough, it also assists other businesses who create a business plan to qualify for lending. Not only that, but this network of businesses who are here strategically and specifically to inform you, to inspire you, and promote your business, create a network and your net worth, if you will, just by knowing each other through association.
That's what's up. You know, because I like the free money aspect, and it's not. I'm not free money, but you got the money, and you don't have to pay back the money. I like that aspect.
We take risks all the time. You know, when you're looking for a job, you have to have a resume. When you're looking for financing for your business, you have to have a business plan. This is taking some of the pressure and some of that unforeseen expectation out of the way and allowing you to come as you are. Many of us have been in business for a long time and did not have a business plan, but are secretly kind of ashamed of that and wish it were different. Then there are others of us who it's the only reason we did not get the loans that were out this last year. And if there is more funding coming, wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to join with like-minded individuals who genuinely care about your success? I feel that way. It's another reason I get so excited to be part of the BSBA's TAP.
Awesome. There's a question, and I would like to remind the folks that are watching us right now, either on YouTube or on Facebook, we want you to be part of this conversation. We want your input. We want your thoughts. We want to know if you're going to sign up, because this is for you. This ain't for us, this is for you. So we do have a question. Ms. Donetta asks, is there a cost for the classes? Miss Angela, you shaking your head before I finish the question. What do you think?
This is an important answer. No, this is a free program funded by the City of Sacramento in conjunction with BSBA. So there is no downside for this. If you miss a class in each cycle, in any one of the cycles, we have this whole row of classes going on 3 times. If you miss a class in October, you can catch it in November or maybe catch it in December, but it is at no charge to you.
And I'm seeing she said, hey, because we want to see this. This is the thing. We've been in this community a very long time, and we know that information wasn't always given out for free. We know that there are some segments who hoarded information and kept certain information from people. Why is it important? Why is it important that they delve into SAC-TAP, Selena? Why is it important?
Ask the question again. I got my coworkers here.
Your coworkers?
Yeah, you know, distance learning, the coworkers.
Oh.
I'd like to speak for Selena for a moment, because her vision for Black Small Business Alliance, and specifically for this TAP here in Sacramento, really does have so much to do with inform, inspire, and promote. And the people that she has brought together were strategically for the purpose of providing real world information from world-class experts. So there's absolutely a fee for the services. You are getting a huge value, but was put together specifically so that the city could reimburse that or could take care of that for you. So I do want to make sure that our public know that this is the value that's been brought together through Selena's vision to make business planning simpler, to make access to information and capital more inviting. It's a very, very valuable.
Thank you.
Yes.
What she said.
What she said. She said, oh. So, Chris, when we're talking about giving out free information, right? We're talking about giving out free information. We're talking about loving on our community specifically and intentionally. Why is that an important component? Because I saw the press release, and there are many programs or many businesses that have been offered this grant of sorts to provide services for the community. So why is it specifically advantageous for our people to link up with us?
Yeah, great question again. The reason that it's specifically important, and it's important to be specific and intentional about the support that we provide and that we offer is because we are a specific group with a specific history and specific needs. And that specific group are African Americans, right? We have a specific history in this country and a specific need for the kind of attention that when we're talking specifically about business, that the SAC-TAP program will provide. So, it's absolutely important that we be specific and that it's our group that provides the specific resources to our group. That is something that I think, are doing a lot more of now. I think BSBA is an example and a manifestation of that kind of thinking, and I'm super excited to be working with BSBA for several months now, just on the idea of being specific to our community. It's what we need, and it's also important that the city, that the county, that the state, and even the federal government, but in this case, the city, specifically support organizations like BSBA and programs like SAC-TAP that specifically target and specifically look out for our businesses. We know our communities best. We know our people best. Many of us, most of us, I think all of us have been working specifically for our people in some capacity, in some advocacy, and some support for several years now. I don't think many, if not most of us, are unfamiliar to the audience here. We've all put in our work in some way, whether it be in the business community, whether it be in the advocacy community, whether it be in some combination of both. And so what this effort is, this SAC-TAP effort does, is bring all that power together, bring all that advocacy together, bring all of that support and expertise together, and bring that specificity together and that intentionality together, and target it, focus, and channel it to support Black-owned businesses, specifically here in the city and county of Sacramento, as it relates to the SAC-TAP program. So that's why it's important. And I think the fact that the city of Sacramento chose this group and chose this program is a recognition of how important that specificity is.
Thank you for that. Selena, did you want to add, before we go to this next comment, did you want to add why specificity at this time is a requirement?
Why? I'm sorry.
Why specificity at this time is a requirement?
So our people know that we're talking to them. They have to know that we're talking specifically to them. Otherwise, it's lost upon them that they are invited to even to be a part of it. You and I, we have this dialogue all the time about the people of color moniker. Saying we're inviting people of color and then expecting Black folks to feel like they're talking to us. Well, talk specifically to us. If you want us to be a part of something, talk to us. So, I mean, I think that's part of why it's important to be specific.
Gotcha.
So everybody knows who you're talking to.
Gotcha. The message matters and the messenger matters too.
Exactly.
Mm.
The first comment, it says, I'd love to connect with BSBA. I'm conducting a research project focused on access to government intervention programs and support for Sacramento Black business owners. So, Catherine, if you could just send us an email, info@bsba-ca.org. Somebody will get back to you with your request. So the next question says, is BSBA and TAP one and the same or two separate organizations? What does TAP stand for? So Selena, can you take that? Are they one and the same or separate organizations?
Both. So BSBA is an organization, it's a membership organization, and TAP, we're running the program through BSBA, but it's actually a partnership with the City of Sacramento.
Okay. And
Is
then
do I need to bring Angela in on this? Because she
do you want to add to that?
No, it's actually an accurate description. BSBA is an organization that is very much focused on small Black-owned businesses. TAP is the program that the City of Sacramento created. It's a technical assistance program is what it stands for, and it is designed to help Black small businesses. In our case, for us to be able to help Black small businesses keep from going away, recover, pivot, whatever it takes to not lose businesses in numbers like we've seen. So that's what it's designed for.
And so what type of businesses do you think have been able to survive thus far? What type of businesses? Anybody can respond. Lena, I know you surviving. What type of business do you have, and how have you been able kind of to survive at this point with what you're doing?
I'm online. I'm online. I'm always looking for what's relevant. And so since I'm an online seller, I always have to stay in tune onto the current events, what's happening, what's going on, how to shift. So I'm basically trying to do all online sales, whether it's merchandise. I love the t-shirt game. T-shirts are hot. So I t-shirt will always make a lot of money. People buy t-shirts online, but I think that businesses have to pivot. You have to learn how to pivot. You have to learn and really teach yourself and really research. Take the time to research. It may take a couple days. You may have to research for a week, but you have to do your research. You have to know the need. Whatever the needs are out there, I say that's where you have to pivot and you have to go. If you had a brick and mortar, you have to figure out how to either sell outside, set up an outside shop, maybe do delivering, or set up your e-commerce shop. So it's all about pivoting. And if we have another shutdown, then you're really going to have to figure out how to pivot and really start thinking about those things now, and really either get your team together or figure out how you're going to do it. And this is the perfect time. Take advantage of these resources. A lot of times these resources are out here, but the companies and people are not looking at it, and they're not taking the time. And you have all these specialists right here that can provide you with so much. And they may even provide you with a one-on-one. We're giving away free nuggets. We're giving away all this information to help you grow and to support you. And that's really important. We have to start supporting each other. We have to get the businesses within Sacramento supporting each other. Chris already said, 41%, Chris, of Black-owned businesses. We have to start putting our money within our community.
Right. And and it's important to note that most big customers of Black-owned businesses are other Black people. Right, Chris?
Yeah. Lorraine, I want to help answer that question too. But you're absolutely right. Black people are Black people's biggest customers. That's just a fact right now. If you frequent Black-owned businesses often enough, you'll find other Black people there. And so Black people are Black people's biggest customers. Black people hire Black people more than other folks hire Black people. Also, that's why it's important to support Black-owned businesses. Another reason that it's important to support Black-owned businesses. But Lena is absolutely right. Many of the businesses that have survived best, and some even thrived and prospered, were businesses that were either already doing a lot of business online, or were very, very able to move online, or had the kind of business that would facilitate easy movement or transition to online work. But let's just be honest about the kinds of businesses that were surviving and of course were thriving, and why. Um, Most of these were white-owned businesses, as the data tells us, that were either very close to, that were either doing large industry and large business. So businesses that were tied to the transportation industry, businesses that were tied to tourism, businesses that were tied to banking, finance, businesses that had very strong connections to government already. Were the businesses that were made to survive, and intentionally made to survive through government action, through big bailout money. There was a $6 trillion bailout that went out through the first 2 or 3 CARES Acts starting in March. There was a $6 trillion outlay to large parts of that money to very big corporations with very close ties to the government. Also, businesses that were made to survive, or more likely to survive, were businesses that had more than one employee or more employees than not, businesses that had more profitability than not, businesses that own property more so than not, businesses that had very close, again, ties to government, but also very strong accounting and legal arms. Uh, those types of businesses were made to survive more so than others, and that is directly related to how the major business intervention programs were actually structured. They were structured in such a way where you got more money the more employees you had. You got more money the more profitable you were. You got more money the more property you owned. And so for businesses in our community, which, as we stated earlier, 90 something plus percent of which had no employees other than the owner. I didn't talk about the profitability numbers, but generally you could expect, and this comes from national data. We don't have the data specifically for Sacramento businesses, but if we make the assumption that the businesses here in Sacramento City and County mirror the business profile of Black-owned business nationally, then in terms of profitability, on average, a business owned by a Black woman will bring in something around $14,000 in total revenue per year. Okay, that's not profits, that's revenue. A business owned by a Black man will bring in something closer to $20,000 in revenue per year. So these are businesses that are generally not profitable at all, or very, very scantily profitable. So because the business programs were structured in such a way where the more profitable you were, the more profitable non-Black owned businesses were made to survive more so than Black owned businesses generally. Same goes for property ownership. So there are some specific structural reasons why we didn't see the type of capital access that we should have seen, and that was intentional. And that's because of how the programs were written, and it was the likes of BSBA that stepped up early on in March at the local level, and also at the state level as well, to confront the business intervention programs and agencies about this reality, and then work with them to change that. And part of what we've seen more recently, specifically from the city of Sacramento, with respect to this business program, that there's been a shift in the kind of intervention, and there's been a listening that's been happening, and and they change in the kind of business intervention programs, and SACTAP is a part of that shift.
All right. And so there goes that word structure again. I just wanted to let you know I heard that word structure again. You mentioned that. And this comment from Miss Deborah says, I'm a mental health therapist and my business has survived and thrived since COVID. Black folks are finally realizing that therapy is not just for white folks. Sis, all this trauma out in these streets, I can understand why your business is thriving. I can definitely understand. So congratulations on that. The other one, it says from Ms. Donetta, if you have an idea to start a business, which program is most appropriate to begin with, or would it be another resource?
If you have an idea to start a business, the technical assistance program is here for you. It's very relevant. And you can layer that with some of the free resources that SBA offers or that the Small Business Development Center offers. But again, this is culture specific. So if you want the technical language to get prepared for some technical language, go for it. And then join us. You will be joining as an observer, if you will, an observing participant. But how much easier will it be to craft your idea if you know the language and you have people who can ask questions on your behalf? And you can take notes during that time. You can contribute using the chat. We welcome you. If you have an idea to start a business, this is absolutely the right program for you.
Thank you for that. Selena, did you want to add on to that?
Yes. I think if you're looking for a specific answer on which program that we're offering to start with, it would probably be business structuring. And that's the program that Angela is actually starting with tomorrow. And so I'll let her explain a little bit about that and how that relates to starting a business. You're on mute.
Yeah. Girl. You muted yourself. There you go.
Okay. All right. There we go. So yes. So business structuring is actually our Wednesday program. Tomorrow we're talking about business plans. Business plan is.
She's not teaching. Okay. You gotta just let you do your thing. She's not teaching. So business structuring is on Wednesday, but some business plans is tomorrow.
Business plans. We're going to talk about the importance of business plans and how to begin writing a business plan. The business structuring we're going to talk about on Wednesday, which includes what kind of structure is best for your business. Everybody doesn't need business structure, but let me take that back. Everybody's business doesn't need business structure. If you happen to be a reseller or a direct salesperson for Avon and Mary Kay and all of that, you don't need a business structure, but that's about it. If you have your own business, you need to have some type of structure. You need to structure it either as a sole proprietor, you need to get an EIN number, you need to determine what's important to you. A sole proprietor has no protection in the case of a lawsuit. They can come after your house, your cars, your 401k, your future earnings, depending on how bad it is. But we sit down and we figure out what's important to you. If you have no assets and you're going to be editing books online, you're probably not going to need to have an LLC. But if you're feeding people your food and you own a house and you own, assets, and the risk is higher that somebody's going to come after you, then you're going to want to create some kind of a corporate structure. So we actually help you figure out exactly which structure is best for you and explain to you exactly how it's going to work once you implement it.
Thank you for that. And this question, it says, does the TAP assist with getting my business set up appropriately online? I have an online presence, but I'm struggling to cross over. Chris is shaking his head, so I'm thinking he has an answer for that.
Yes, specifically as it regards your online presence, your social media online presence. That's where I will specialize, and there's probably other help here too for your web presence generally. But I will be specializing in helping you go from struggling to success as it relates to your Facebook and your Instagram marketing if you're on either of those platforms or you're thinking about joining either of those platforms. Also, as a value add to SACTAP participants, you have full access to SAC Black Biz, which is right now it's the largest online hub for Sacramento County Black-owned businesses. It's the largest. It's the largest online directory of Sacramento Black-owned businesses in the county as well. There is a community of over 6,000 Sacramentans and people in and around Sacramento who are looking to do business with your Black-owned business that you will be able to market to, access, talk to, communicate to directly as a participant of the SACTAP program. That's in one of our online communities called SAC Black Biz Community. We have another community called SAC Black Biz Market where there's over 3,000, again, Sacramentans and people who want to do business with Black Sacramentans ready for you, already there, built for you, just waiting on you to tell them all the great things that you're doing in business. So this is absolutely a value add to your business, and it will absolutely help with anyone who is struggling right now as it relates to specifically social media and online marketing in that sense.
Thank you for that. So, when we're talking about being specific and we're talking about, helping Black-owned businesses, that's not to say that nobody else can sign up with us, right? We're not turning anybody away. We want everybody who wants to come and hang out with us or kick it with us. We want them to feel like they are included in whatever we got going on, but we are specific about helping Black small businesses. Am I correct when I say that? Okay, I see snaps and I see now. Don't go like that. Miss Amina says she is looking for a Black birth worker in Sac Cultural Hub. So does that mean you're looking for a birth worker in Sacramento? If anybody is watching and they're a birth worker, go ahead and email us at info@bsba-ca.org and we will connect you with Miss Amina who's looking for a birth worker. So we want to be sure that we hammer the point home that we want folks to sign up. So Selena, or Lena, either one of you can answer this next one. Where can they sign up at? How can they sign up? Lena, Selena, one of y'all.
Please, everyone, reach out to SACTAP Facebook page, group page. It's going to be a private group page, especially for the participants. So you're going to get exclusive information at the SACTAP.
They have to sign up somewhere first before they get access to that group page. So where do they need to be to sign up? And Selena, I can't unmute you because you muted yourself.
The website, on our website, BSBA, www.bsba-ca.org. That's www.bsba-ca.org. And I believe it's on the front page. It says click here to register. You click the register button. It'll take you to a survey. You fill out the survey. You submit the survey. You get an auto reply with the schedule and all the links that you can very easily click on to sign up for classes. There's one caveat. You have to do it from a computer. You can't do it from your phone. For some reason, it just won't allow you to register on your phone, but you can do it on a computer and it's very easy. It'll send you a confirmation code to let you know that you are registered for the class and how to get in the class. And then I think Angela wants to add one more thing.
She said, I do?
She does. She's the owner of the Workflow Lounge. Remember?
Yes. So we are doing our program. All of our programs will be done live from Workflow Lounge, which is a co-working space in Rancho Cordova. It's at 9912 Business Park Drive, Suite 170 in Sacramento, California. And it's zip 95827 if you're putting it into your GPS. And we have limited space for people who want to join live to come in. So let us know if you're interested in coming and actually watching the presentations live. We are welcoming a few people in. We're going to be
And we're
Social
practicing
distancing.
social distancing. Yep. So bring your mask.
Bring your masks, and social distancing will be enforced. So we have limited space, but we we will welcome some people in to come and join us while we're doing the presentations.
Fantastic.
And we might have a little light snack for you.
Oh, you gonna
Refreshments
feed people
will
too?
be
We don't
served.
do light snacks. You know, Black people be hungry. We don't do light snacks, so you gotta have food on deck for that. Miss Amina, I see that there's some folks typing into the chat and they're giving you names of birth workers here in Sacramento. So if you can check the chat and see those resources that are being added for you, that would be great. So we have about 5 minutes left before we end the broadcast, and so I cannot impress upon the community enough. The message matters. The messenger matters. Come get loved on and get information all at the same time. We want you here. We welcome you here.
Yes.
We want you to be a part of what it is that, as a collective, we're trying to build for our folks here in Sacramento and beyond. We want y'all to come in and get the knowledge. Um, Thank you for registering, Danny. We appreciate that. We welcome you with open arms. We can't wait to connect. It says, please repeat the address, Angela. I didn't type it. I didn't type it fast enough.
That's
So
okay.
I got lost.
It's 9912 Business Park Drive, Suite 170, Sacramento 95827, and it's Workflow Lounge.
So what I did was I typed Workflow Lounge. Go ahead and put that in your GPS because I don't know. I don't type the addresses anymore. Go ahead and put it in your
There's only
GPS
one
and come
Workflow
see us.
Lounge, so
Come see us.
you'll find it.
So as we're wrapping up, final thoughts. Let's go round robin like final thoughts. What is it that you want to communicate to the people about joining us for this program, and what type of impact we're trying to have on their business to see them not just survive but thrive in the time of COVID? So let's go to Miss Deanna first, and let's go to Miss Deanna first.
Okay, so what I'll say for the last quick second is that what Selena and the team have put together is really set up. Somebody's typing right now while I'm talking. But what has been put together really is set up to help you feel supported. So once you log on and register, then you will be led down the path. You're not just going to end up getting bombarded with emails that are not relevant to you. There are actually 3 rounds of this program happening in the next 3 months. So that way you're not going to miss a class, or you're not going to, you will be given the opportunity to be nurtured and guided down every step of this process. But it all starts with the registration. So visit the website that's listed here, and we'll look forward to seeing you working together and thriving in the new year.
Thank you so much. Let's pop over to Chris.
First, I want to thank every single one of you here who is watching and who will watch this on the replay. Make sure you like and you subscribe and share to the page BSBA, Black Small Business Association of California. So make sure you do those 2 things, and tell a friend, right? Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell another friend, especially if they own a Black business, that this is the program and this is the organization that they need to be connected with. As it relates to the TAP program specifically, and to business owners, the last thing I want to say is we hear you. We hear you, and we're also here for you. Hang in there. Those numbers are one reality, but we also know that there is another reality, that you are fighting tooth and nail every single day to survive, to put food on the table for your families, to keep your business dream alive. And so hang in there. You have people out here who are fighting so hard for you, and know that this team, this group is one of those groups that's fighting really hard for you. So hang in there. You have help. You're not alone. We're here for you.
Miss Angela.
Okay. Thank you all, just like Chris said, for coming. We really appreciate you being here. Understand that we have no ulterior motives. Our motives here are to help you. We're not looking to do sales pitches. You're not going to find sales pitches here. We have a genuine desire to help you as a small Black business, and we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that you come out of this COVID environment in a better place than you were coming into this COVID environment.
Perfect. Thank you. Lena, last final thoughts. Girl, you on mute. Okay.
To piggyback off of Chris again, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Let's go. Subscribe to BSBA. Go to the Facebook page. Go to SACTAP. Register. Let's support each other. You got the friend down the street selling plates. Encourage them. Encourage them to start their own business. Encourage them to do drop-offs and drive-ins. Let's encourage each other. We know we got a lot of talent in our Black community. Let's lift each other up and let's encourage each other and let's spread this knowledge. So everybody, let's tap in. Everybody tap in. Let's go.
Hey.
What are you talking about? So final thoughts before we wrap up.
I just want to say that I have the baddest team in America.
Whoop, whoop.
You guys are going to benefit from at least 50 years of experience doing this. So as Miss Donetta Jefferson says, let's go. We're looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And thank you for trusting us. And we're not going to let you down. We're ready for this.
And remember, if you want to come hang out with us live, please let us know. Send a message, send an email so we can reserve your spot. And I'm telling you, for the ones that's going to come out with this live, you're going to really get some live face-to-face nuggets.
Perfect. Well, thank y'all for joining us, and thank you for helping me introduce this program to the community, because this is going to be a community-driven program. We cannot successfully carry out the mission of this program without the community. So Amina said she's passing the word on now. Perfect. Because we need more of us in the room. We need more of us in the room, and we need more of us to be legit with our paperwork, to have our structure in place, to have our business plan laid out so that we can take over and ultimately do the things that we really want to do. So with that, thank you for joining us. We will see you on the next broadcast. That is going to be October 12th. If you are if you are a Black small business and you want to talk to me on the next one of these broadcasts about how you're surviving in the time of COVID, or what things you have put into place, I'm looking for you. So if you want to be on the next broadcast, if you're interested in being on the next broadcast, please hit me up. You can email me at info@bsba-cs.org, like it's on your ticker. And we look forward to really building with you. So with that, good night, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night.
Yes, Lorraine, you are excellent.